By the way, come on the live stream. Hold on, let me move my chair back just a little bit. I feel like I'm not centered. Oh, that's why I feel not centered. Okay, it was the mic. My bad, peoples. Let's get it going. It's time for another late live stream. And I actually was gonna do this earlier. Just split my nail in half. Good golly, Miss Molly, that shit hurt. That shit hurt, blah. But we back, man. I don't know. I know the live stream title says week 15, but I'm actually not sure what week we're on in the W. But if we started on the 16th, we go 23, about 30, 23, 30 next month. I don't know, 7, 14, 20. 7 o'clock. Yeah, actually, about week 15 or probably week 14 or so. Yeah, so I'm kind of close. I might be ahead by a week or so. It might be week 13 if I'm not mistaken. But yes, Lord, welcome back to the channel. I know it's a late live stream, but it's Friday. You ain't got no job. You ain't got to do. So come on in and join the live stream, man. Welcome. I don't know how many viewers we're gonna get in the live stream today, but we got a lot of topics to cover. I'm not gonna keep this as a long live stream though. I will say that. I'm gonna pull up ESPN. I don't know how the Connecticut Los Angeles Sparks game went, but I think this is a good time to do a nice little W recap live stream. Just talk about some of the random stuff going on. I think in terms of the season, the W is kind of hitting a little low. Not low as in like, it's just low as in like the energy, like nothing's really popping. The most interesting things happening, and there's a Green Lantern dildo bandit on the loose, and I think people just trying to be funny at this point. Because why are people throwing tapes? I don't get why people are like, someone's trying to be funny. And you know what you need in this moment? You know what you need in a moment like this? You need Cardi B to throw a mic at somebody. Or maybe you just need Cardi to throw the shit back at whoever throwing shit onto the floor. The ref, I feel like the one ref who kicked it away during, what was it? Who threw it on the court? Chicago Sky Valkyries game. Whoever threw that shit on the court on the Chicago Sky game and the ref kicked it. The Sparks and the Storm are in double overtime, by the way. Whoever threw that on the floor and the ref kicked it away. Either that ref is all the way for it or that ref is absolutely appalled and there's no in between. I thought the Sparks and Storm game would be finished by now, but I actually got a little parlay on it. So let me see. Let me see what it's looking like. Let me see. LA is up 103-101 with 3 minutes and 13 seconds left in double overtime. Why are the Storm and the Sparks in double overtime? I don't know. Let me check the numbers real quick because, like I said, we got a little bread on this. And I think I had. Oh shit. I think I had overs. Hold on, y'all. I think I had a bunch of overs, but I also had an under. Okay. Gabby, talk to me. Okay, talk to me, Gabby. Sky, talk to me. Yep, Sky's talking to me. Gabby's talking to me. Uh-huh. Cameron Brink is talking to me. Kelsey Plum is talking to me. Kelsey Plum has talked to me. Azare Stevens, you got it. Azare Stevens. Derek Hamby talking to me. Azare. Is Azare Stevens on the court? Azare, you can't. I'm not. There's no way I sold this. This ain't even all me. Azare, what we doing, shorty? Azare, what are we doing? There's no way we're in double overtime and shorty, the tallest person on, well, maybe outside of Cameron Brink, but she the tallest person on the team and she don't have not even 5 rebounds. Damn, you got 4. Who the hell grabbing the boards on your team? Why kill Julie Alleman got 9 rebounds? Come on, Azare, help me out, yo. 43 rebounds on the team, and yo ass got 4 of them. How does that see? That's type shit. That's probably the last leg too, ain't it? That probably the last leg too, ain't it? All right, all right. 2:35 left. Azare Stevens needs 2 rebounds. It's probably the last leg, dog. Is she even on the court, dog? Storm full timeout. Azare Stevens just made a 3. I don't need the threes right now. Azare, I just need the rebounds, dog. Shouts out Ezzy for missing that shot. I need her to stay right where she is. All right, let's get back. This game interesting now. Game gets real interesting when you. Derek Hamby just fouled. Derek Hamby just fouled. Oh, thank goodness. It's Neka at the line. Woo! Said I'm never lucky, said you please. See, with them automatics, we go send him to heaven. Wait. She like the way that dance. She like the way that move. She like the way that rock. Okay. Neka Ogwumike has 37 points on 14 of 25 shooting. She has 30. Oh, I thought she was about to have a triple double. No, she has 37 and 12 and 4. Azare Stevens just got a rebound. Azare Stevens just got a rebound. I think it was offensive. Hold on. Why is this live stream turning into a play-by-play for a parlay? Hold on. Yo, Ezzy Magbagor just can't score, bro. I need one more rebound. One more rebound from Derek Hamby, dog. I mean, Derek Hamby by Azare Stevens, yo. One more rebound. Azare, pull that down. Offensive. Give me something. Okay, Gabby got it. Ezzy Magbagor is missing layups. All right, that's good. That's good. We just need one. Damn, if Azare could have gotten that rebound off that Magbagor missed layup, we would be straight. Hold on, chat. Can we clutch it out today? Because I have a really funny statement to make if we can clutch this shit out. 1 minute, 10 seconds left. Wheeler misses a shot. Hamby with another rebound. Azare, where are you, shorty? 45 seconds left. Where's God? Azare, please. She gonna miss it, ain't she? She gonna miss it, ain't she? And her line was like what, 7.5? You know, that's kind of my fault because I didn't look at her game log of her past rebounds. I did not look at the game log of her past rebounds. Kelsey Plum offensive foul. 28 seconds left. Kelsey Plum offensive foul, 28 seconds left. Storm full timeout. This is it, yo. 28 seconds left. Yo, this is it. The game might be chopped down, so there might be a chance if Azare get this rebound. I don't think they're going to go to Ezzy Magbagor unless she's shooting a 3. So we should be okay. But damn, I just need Azare to pull that last rebound right there. That last rebound right there, dog. We are 1 rebound away. How you got 5? You average 8. How you got 5 in a double overtime game? You've played 33 minutes. Cameron Brink ain't eating up your time. Cameron Brink has played 12 minutes this game. Ray Burrell has played 18 and is completely off her game. For some reason, Ray Burrell likes busting New York's ass, but everyone else he won't play sorry against. Same with Satu. Y'all low-key, y'all want to play for us. Y'all want to play for us. It's nasty. Y'all D-ride the hell out of New York. You want to play for us. That's really what it is. Satu want to shoot all 70% from 3 and then just want to turn into a clank master whenever she's playing anybody else. Ray Burrell busting all right. Now, granted, there's no one on our team that can defend these type players outside of Leonie Febish, but she gets cross-matched so much. She never on Satu anyway. Ray Burrell, she gonna go off because our guards can't guard. You know what I'm saying? She won 1v1 with Sabrina because Sabrina's gonna win that matchup every time. You know what I mean? Sabrina gonna win that every time. One more rebound, y'all. All right. One more rebound. I'm giving y'all the gamblers play by play right here. What the hell? Let me get back to the chat. I'm so sorry. We do have a lot to talk about today, but now I'm kind of invested in seeing if this goes through. My guess is it's not gonna happen. You know what I mean? It's the last leg. Y'all know how it goes. The last leg always bombs. And I'm gonna miss it by one. And you know what that means? Over the past three parlays I've set, I've missed them literally by a total of 3 points. Like three, not 3 points as in like the score, but three things. Like it might have been like one rebound, 1 point, one assist. I've missed them. I missed by a total of three. And these ain't no like simple like 5 leg stuff. These like ten legs. But they are kind of like on the low side. But that's the strategy. But low side, then you don't have to worry about, you know what I'm saying? You can there are ways to do it to where you give yourself the advantage. You know what I mean? Anyway, I'm gonna keep this game up on live just to see what happens. But I wanted to talk about I did talk about this, I think, on the last live stream with Emma Mieseman coming to the New York Liberty. The New York Liberty have cut Jalen Sherrod and who else we cut? No. We cut Jalen Sherrod and then we added Stephanie Talbot. Didn't we cut someone else? Or no, maybe we didn't. Yeah, cut Jalen Sherrod earlier today. As you know, we brought in Stephanie Talbot for some apparent. I don't know. It's just I think the Stephanie Talbot move to for New York was like straight up nepotism. You know, a little nepotism, but you know that's what happens in professional sports leagues, right? Team Australia looking out for Team Australia. I don't. What purpose does Stephanie Talbot? So Alexis Morris, Alexis Morris, Alexis Morris, and that's all I'll say on that. I just don't get what purpose Stephanie Talbot serves on New York. What there's some players that just a lot of players in the W lack a specialty, and that's what I think holds them a lot of the time. But for the other players that are just like you can't even call them Swiss Army knives because they don't necessarily do one particular thing well. That's such a weird consistency in the W that there are some players in this league that you just can't identify one thing they do well. That's why I had to get on y'all about Deja Kelly and whatnot. It's not that I have a problem with the player or I have a problem with trying to get this player to develop, but it's like name the one thing they do well. And people are telling me, "Oh, Deja Kelly got a mid range." Oh, my bad. I didn't realize 38% shooting overall means you got a mid range. I didn't realize career sub 40% shooting from below the perimeter means you got a mid range. I don't understand that. I really don't understand that. Hold on. LA Sparks coaches challenge. Sparks charged with the timeout. Oh, so they challenged it, and then Seattle said, "Yeah, don't turn." Okay, all right. So Seattle low key, they don't have to, but they're down three with 25 seconds left. They don't have to go for three. So hopefully, as he doesn't get the ball, but knowing Derek Hamby just personal fouled with 25 seconds left. No time came off. Well, 3 seconds came off the clock. Derek Hamby just fouled. Someone just hit a three pointer. Someone just hit a three pointer. The Seattle Storm just hit a three pointer. Gabby Williams just hit a three pointer. Okay. LA Sparks, Derek Hamby just made a 4 foot jumper. Holy crap. Yes, that was a great call by what's the name of the LA Sparks coach again? Coach Lynn. Great call from her to not use a timeout and just go after the Storm just tied the game up. Derek Hamby gets a nice little 4 foot jumper to go. Storm timeout with 4.3 seconds left on the clock. Gabby Williams coming in clutch. I knew she was going to have a nice night from three. And that is game. Azare Stevens sells my parlay by one rebound. 35 minutes played, 5 rebounds. Azare Stevens. Azare Stevens. 35 minutes played and couldn't get 6 boards. And you're athletic too. That's what I don't understand. You athletic as hell and couldn't get 6 boards. That's like 2 less than your average. I literally bet worst case scenario, and we still couldn't do it. Derica Hamby, for some reason, continuously keeps dropping major double doubles on these teams' head top. Are we? Do WNBA players understand the players that have skill and the players that don't have skill? Like I watched today, New York Liberty versus Connecticut Sun, and yes, Liberty. We lost the game because you can't ask Sab to carry the team if Sab can't even carry a basketball. Okay? Or if Sab just stays carrying a basketball. Shit, how are you going to ask Sab to carry a team? Sab can't even carry the ball up the court. So obviously we're going to struggle. Now, is it crazy that we're struggling with we're playing an 8-man rotation? Yes, we have mad injuries and whatnot. Some players getting rest. Stewie's out. No timetable on her return. Good thing we're bringing in Emma Meeseman. Again, coach, I'm not even coach code, GM code, GMK, back at it again, saving the day. But it's crazy enough that your energy lacks, your effort lacks just because players are missing. That's weird. That's really weird to me. And for the players on the bench stinking it up, Marine Johannes, you don't get to start much. You're starting because you're in the lineup because we have a lot of injuries. You would think that these players would capitalize on this moment. Tasha's energy in Brooklyn is always great. It's always great. It's always through the roof, barking up a storm and shit. Then we get to these road games, get to these away games, and all of a sudden the energy dies down. However, there's this moment I say all that to say, there's this moment in the game. Izzy Harrison, these players don't recognize when other players suck, and that's crazy to me. And if you're not able to recognize that, that's telling me that you don't really know your ability, and you also don't really know your matchup's ability. And that probably goes back to the fact that you all aren't watching the games. You guys aren't scouting yourselves. You're not scouting other teams. You're not watching other teams. Izzy Harrison, Olivia Nelson-Ododa could not hold Izzy, and Izzy didn't even recognize that. I put that on the assistant coaches, by the way. Because it's their job to point out stuff like that. And I don't even want to get started on like coaching staff and the amount of people sitting on the bench just not contribute. Not even the players. I'm just talking about coaching staff, whoever sits on the bench and watch these things happen. Because just the other night when the Liberty were playing the Lynx, Nafisa, I did a whole scout on this, guys. I did a whole scout on this from last year from the finals, where the first possession of the game, Nafisa Collier clearly walked and not one person called travel, and it happened again last night. And it was so egregious because the players on the court didn't even call travel. Clear travel, by the way. It's not like it was like hard to tell or something like that. Clear travel. Nafisa did it again. Players didn't call travel. And barely anyone, like the coaching staff on New York Liberty just sat there. And I'm talking like a clear as day travel. And I said back in my scouting video, I said, this is how I know you guys aren't running ones. You guys aren't running fives like that. Y'all not scrimmaging, because you would be picking up the fact that she just picked up her pivot foot and just reestablished. But the crazy thing is, okay, the players don't call it. Not one person on the bench saw it. Not one person. So I'm putting this on the assistant coaches, where Izzy Harrison could be banging with Olivia Nelson-Ododa, and Izzy thinks that she doesn't have an advantage. Izzy's stronger. But Olivia Nelson-Ododa boxes her out once, gets an offensive rebound, and all of a sudden Izzy doesn't think she has the tools to bang with Nelson-Ododa in the post. Whole time, Izzy was bodying Nelson-Ododa. Just off one rebound, Izzy now thinks that Nelson-Ododa is strong enough to bang with her. So now Izzy catches the ball in the post, faces up, Izzy is a great face-up post player, and then just drives and kicks it out because she thinks Nelson Adota about to hold her own. Izzy was busting her ass. Maybe not in terms of points in like in box score, but Izzy was like could have had her way. And there's no one to point that out. So I don't understand how these players get in the game, bro. And I'm not saying I don't know about Seattle's rotations because let's let's look at these minutes right here. Coach Quinn, I don't know what she wants to do with I don't she's gonna gas out her players because if they're playing let's look at this. Let's look at this. All right. For some reason, Coach Linden, Sarah Ashley Barker, she might be hurt. I'm not sure why she didn't play, but she might be hurt if she didn't play. But here's okay. Coach Quinn played 8 deep today. The bench played a max of 20 minutes, and that was Dominique Malonga. 13 minutes for Tiffany Mitchell, and 13 minutes for Alexi Brown. I'm not sure if Zaya's hurt. I'm not sure if Alicia Clark is hurt. I haven't seen Alicia Clark play in a minute. Mackenzie Holmes on the bench, and she's running Neko Gumake 46 minutes, Gabby Williams 42 minutes, Ezzy 34 minutes. Ezzy and Dominique Malonga really should be splitting minutes like crazy right now and just see who performs better. Skylar Diggins 43 minutes, Erica Wheeler 39 minutes. It's a double overtime game. Now the Sparks did the same thing because they're playing 8 deep, and they really just played 8 deep and somehow won the game. They really played 7 deep because Julie Van Loo only got 4 minutes. Not sure why you'd keep Julie Van Loo in a game like this because she's high energy, high motor. I'm not sure why she's playing the game, but how like Derica Hamby drops 21 and 13. I think Derica Hamby is a better rebounder than she is scorer. How are y'all allowing Derica Hamby to get 21 points on y'all head top? Shorty can't even shoot free throws. If you struggling against Derica Hamby, send her ass to the line. I'm pretty sure she's still a 60% shooter from the line, but she's dropping consistent double doubles on her head top. So I'm here I am because one thing I do notice about WNBA fans, a lot of WNBA fans just lack what player improvement is. They don't understand the concept of player improvement. So when I'm in these comment sections, when I'm on YouTube, when I'm doing these videos where I'm just like, yo, this player is actually asked you, why are you getting beat off the dribble by a player that doesn't even like dribbling? How are you getting beat off the dribble by a player that is so much slower than you? It's on you. It's on you. It's either you lacking the skill to compete with this player. Well, actually, it's not even, a lot of the time, it's not even that they're lacking the skill. You're just lacking the IQ. You're just lacking the game sense, the spatial awareness. This player isn't even better than you, but somehow you keep getting bested. And some people are going to be like, oh, well, that means the player is better than her. Or the player that is better than the other player that keeps getting beaten by the player that's worse than them is stupid. It is stupid. It just lacks IQ. Doesn't like you're the better player, but you're just stupid in this moment. And I just struggle to see how that consistently happens, dog. If you know these players setup, if you know their stats, if you just know their stats, you would be guarding them an entirely different way. If you knew their tendencies, you would never be beaten by certain moves that they pull because not many players in this league have a bag like that, bruh. I'm pretty sure Paige Beckers has the deepest bag in the league. Arike got a handle, like she got a handle bag, but I would put Paige Beckers number one in terms of who actually has a bag in this league, bruh. Because they're not many. You don't see a variety. I'll put Paige Beckers in that list. I don't know what my top 5 would look like or my top 10 would look like, but I'd have Neko Gumake there. I'd have Paige Beckers there. I'd give Fee the nod. I'd give Fee the nod. Fee is good in her skill base because she doesn't do too many different things, but she's so solid. She's kind of like Joker. She's so solid in the little things that she does that she doesn't need to do too much extra stuff. You know what I mean? She do be stepping, and I be calling it every single time. But Feet is good within her skill set, right? Hold on, let me look this up. Yeah, Derica Hamby, she's been cranking on her free throws for like the past couple seasons. 3 seasons of sub 65% shooting from the free throw line. If Derica Hamby's dropping 21 against you, you doing something wrong. She's shooting 57%, call it 58% from the free throw line this season. Why are you allowing her to drop a double double on your head top? 57% from the line, and she's shooting 56% from the field. Send her to the line. Hack her. How are you? You should be thinking I have all the advantage. I just don't see. I really, and again, I'm not trying to harp on Derica Hamby or anything like that, even though sometimes she do be pissing me off. But I'm trying to harp on this fact that it seems to me that this aspect of player improvement, I've kind of given up with WNBA fans on them understanding what I'm talking about when I tell them that a player is not that good. I've kind of given up on that. But what I don't understand is how the players themselves really just allow themselves to be bested because they're not paying attention. That's really weird. That's really, really weird. You know why that's weird? Because these players don't have a deep bag. Not a lot of these players you're playing against, they don't have a bag like that where you have to scout for this counter. You have to scout for this move. And then you got to be ready for this counter. And then you got to be ready for the counter to this counter. You got to be ready for the counter to that counter. And then you got to be ready for that counter to that counter. Players aren't coming in with that. So how are you still not prepared for a league with 13 teams, about 12 players per team, not even some of them not even using their bench players like that, and you still not prepared for your matchup? What are these scouts looking like? Me, just as a fan, even though I do pay attention, I think I pay really close attention to the game. Like, I pay attention to the stuff that most people probably don't. But a fan like me can understand every shot pocket every player in this league shoots from. Preferred shot pocket every player in the league shoots from. I have a question on if a WNBA player can name every starting lineup in the league. It's only 13 teams. I'm willing to bet on myself I could do that. But I want to know if a WNBA player could do that. Just an average WNBA player can do that. Because I keep thinking from this mindset of, you can make your life so much easier by just paying attention. A lot of these, and I feel like this isn't wrong, even though it's opinion. I just feel like this isn't wrong. When I watch these games, it looks like players are just going into the games not really knowing anything. More so about the other team. Like, just I don't know if the scouting is there. It looks like players go into the games and then they just go. There's like, you can tell when a player's processing. You can tell when a team was just like, they have these moments where it's like they might get beaten by the same player that they just scouted, but then they go, like, you can see the light bulb turn on and be like, oh, that's the same thing we went over in practice. This isn't going to happen again. You can see when, like, the light bulb goes off for some players, for some teams. For a lot of these games, it just seems like the players are just going. Like, the only game plan they're really following is the offensive one. Typical. But it just seems like no one, like, okay, I'm guarding this player. I know this player's left-handed. Maybe I should keep her away from her left. There's none of that type of processing I see, right? Or this player just asked for a screen going towards the sideline. I got my help big right here. I'm going to stay topside just to continuously shuttle this player down the sideline, because advantage me, right? I got my big right here. I'm covering top side. As long as my big doesn't let them split, we can basically push this guard out of bounds, right? If she wants to dribble to the sideline, please be my guest. Dribble to the sideline. The worst thing you can do is pass the ball back out on top of the perimeter. The further down we push you on the sideline towards the baseline, two extra virtual defenders. So that skip pass going back to your big, which is the only option right now, might be picked off from my teammate that's in help defense right now, or that's covering the rotation on the pass back. Like, I just don't see the wheels turning in some of these turning for some of these players. It just seems like the players are just out there going. It's like they have no clue or awareness of other players' tendencies, of other players' habits, of which shoulder they shoot over, of which hand they use. Like, are they right hand dominant, left hand dominant? It looks really weird. I just don't understand it, bro. I don't understand it. It's like your league is not that big. What happens when the league gets bigger? What happens when the roster sizes get bigger? What happens when your scout is goes from a 2 pages to a packet? Like, I don't know. I don't know. But like I say on this channel, man, you heard it here first. Don't say I didn't tell y'all. I was about to look up something regarding the stats or the standings, but I can't remember what I was gonna look up. So I don't know if I should get back to New York. Um, let me see if I can. Let me see if I can remember what I was gonna do because I was gonna look up stats or scores. Go over the standings. New York is 17 and 10 in second place. The Minnesota Lynx are 23 and 5. I think the Minnesota Lynx, they're just better than basically 80% of the teams this season. And then for the top tier teams that they put up a fight, but they're just so locked in that they're trying harder than than the best teams that they play, like the teams up top three, New York Liberty, Atlanta Dream, Phoenix Mercury. They're going to be better than those teams by far because they're convinced, they're trying hard. You know what I mean? New York Liberty, Atlanta Dream 17 and 11, Phoenix 16 and 11, Fever 16 and 12, Seattle 16 and 12. I think these ones are. Hold on. Okay, yeah, these ones are updated. Golden State Valkyries 14-13, Aces 14 and 13, Mystics 13 and 14, Sparks 12 and 15. I really need the Sparks to stop winning. Dallas Wings 8 and 21, Chicago Sky 7 and 20, Connecticut Sun 5 and 21. Chicago Sky have 7 wins. Let me go back to the chat real quick because I saw some comments. What up, chat? We already know how bad the Fever are, and they're 2 games away from the 2 seed without Caitlin. My Liberty has been garbage without Stewart. I never thought we will miss her this much. How can we lose to the Sun? Good Lord. The league is as just a scout report for Caitlin. They can defend her as if their lives matter. Early in Sabrina's career, she was guarded like that. I'll be real with you. They don't have a scout for Caitlin Clark either. Check my second to latest YouTube short. Check my second to latest YouTube short. They don't have a scout for Caitlin Clark either. And you know what's crazy? Remember how I always say on this channel, y'all heard it here first. I literally made a YouTube short where I called it, where I told y'all Caitlin Clark has a tendency where she doesn't like doing this. And if you don't believe me, I'll give you guys a clear example right now. Quick anecdote before we get into the next thing. But if you all don't believe me, when Caitlin was back in Iowa, I believe it was open practice for Iowa for right before the championship game. I want to say it was 2024. Sorry, 2023. 2023, right? No. 2020. Yeah, 2024. 2024. And they're having an open practice. And Caitlin shot going to her right, airball. Shot going to her left, cashed it. And I'm just like, ain't this some shit? I said the same thing I've been saying from earlier. What was it? Last year, 2023. Who they play again? LSU, Haley. That was 2024. That was 2020. Yeah, that was 2024. The college season and the WNBA season effing with me right now. But that was 2024 when they played Caitlin. Oh, when she played when she played Angel Reese the first time, and then she played LSU the second time, I literally told y'all the way she likes to shoot and which way she struggles shooting. They don't have a scout for Caitlin Clark either, and I'm thoroughly, heavily, strongly. What is Stephen A. be saying? I'm strongly. It's clear that these teams, I don't think they really have scouts. I don't think they really have scouts. Do y'all understand that there are some teams? Let's take my Mystics for example, right? Because I know I love the Liberty always, but Mystics are our home team. I love the Mystics too. Do y'all understand that there are games determined by some of the simplest things you could like? And I'm not just saying, oh, well, if you did all these simple things, you'd probably have a better chance in the game. No, games, wins and losses are being dictated. Close games by a point, 2 point, one possession are being dictated, lost, and won because of a simple fundamental miss. For instance, Sony Citron, I think they were playing the Wings the one time where she dropped like 27 and then Paige went crazy too. The game went into overtime and the Mystics won it, right? I believe it was that game. Leading up to that, Sony, first of all, the Mystics play great defense anyway. I love the fact that they play good team defense. Sony is high IQ, so she does most of the time you catch her doing the right thing, right? But they have a tendency, not even just on the Mystics, but in the league, but they have a tendency on the Mystics that we deny wings like really hard. So we'll always get up in the passing lane like this. We'll be denying back to ball, kind of like C-ball, C-man, and we'll be denying, right? All that is fine. You deny like that in the passing lane when you have help. When you have help, when you understand that there's somebody on the block. So if that player goes back door when you're denying on the wing like this, oh shit, they go back door. My block defender most likely is going to pick up that backdoor pass, and I'll just go to whoever was on the block, right? But you don't jump into the passing lane to deny the wing if you don't know you have help, right? If you don't know you have help, or you clearly see that no one has communicated to you that you have help, or you're on a weak side of the floor, you should know that, right? Just off of IQ, you should know that. You don't jump into the passing lane if you don't know you have help. And if you're unsure of whether or not you have help, you play it safe. So you switch, you hedge, push the player out away from the basket so that they can't cut back door on you, because you don't know whether you have help or not. If you're unsure, you play it safe. You push them away, you push them out, you hedge them out, push them towards half court. If they have to catch the ball 3 feet from the perimeter, you'd rather live with that than them going back door and you having no help and they get an easy layup. Games for the Mystics have been determined by Sony missing those rotations. I'm not just zeroing on Sony like Sony has cost us these games. No, it's just that in practice or in your scout, you should be going over how the fundamental, because if you're going to guard in the passing lanes, at least you should be well versed in how I'm supposed to guard in the passing lane and when I'm supposed to guard a certain way in the passing lane, because that's just fundamental basketball. That's not even advanced basketball. I have help. Boom, I'm in the passing lane. I could play back to ball, C-ball, C-man, try to keep tabs on him, whatever. I'm not sure if I have help, or if I don't have help, I'm on weak side, whatever. I have to play hedge. I have to push the player out, right? That's just fundamental shit. Games have been lost just off of you being in the wrong defensive stance. Games are lost off that. Games are won off that. I don't think teams have scouts, bro. I don't think they're scouting like that. I don't think they're scouting like that. And it's so weird to see, because you don't have that many players or teams to scout. We're talking like 136 to 144 players. You don't have that many players to scout. You know what I mean? Anyway, chat. LA with double OT win. Tulip plays. Shouts out Tulip. Double OT win. 2 games of the season wins. 2 game of the season wins by LA in the same week, because they beat New York, right, with Rakia Jackson and Stephanie Talbot playing great. By the way, I have another YouTube short coming for you guys with the defense that was played by the New York Liberty in that game, which led to the game-winning bucket by Rickea Jackson. I got a YouTube short coming for y'all, so stay tuned for that one. That one should be interesting. I'm really trying to get on like my awful coaching type stream and do like highlight breakdowns for games and whatnot. Maybe if I can commit to that, I think that would be pretty good. But I might do like shorts just to see the response it gets. When you have no bursts or handles or mid range, you're limited to chucking them up from deep, which is unreliable. Who are you talking about, Tulip? Sabrina? So many of these players can't handle the basketball, bro, and it shows. People confuse deep range to a deep bag, completely different. That's a word. That's a word. Rickea had the deepest bag of that draft class by far for a level scorer. Even Rickea don't really have a deep bag. I think Rickea Jackson was the most pro ready, but I don't even think her bag that deep. Like I can tell you which way she's gonna fade every. She's going to fade. You know where she's gonna fade. Y'all know where she. If y'all know, hold on. Let me see if chat knows. Which way is Rickea gonna fade? Right shoulder or left shoulder? I want to see something. I want to see if y'all on my timing right now. Which shoulder is Rickea Jackson? Which shoulder is her preferred fade shoulder going over? Which shoulder is her preferred fade going over? I want to see if my chat knows something right now. Because you remember how I talked about like scouting. I could go through every player in the W right now and tell y'all which shoulder they shoot over. I go through every player in the W right now and tell them, including bench. Seattle, okay, whatever. You running your players down, you playing them 40 minutes, whatever. So are the Sparks, and you lose a game because you're letting a player like Derek Hamby drop. Again, I'm not saying Derek Hamby sorry or nothing like that, but I do think like for some reason she gets off. But if players like had the answer, it's kind of like the scout. The scouting report is somewhat supposed to give you the answer, right? I feel like if more players had the answers to the test before they took the test, certain things wouldn't happen. You know what I mean? I appreciate that. Okay, Jackson, when she posts, she did the same thing at Tennessee, by the way. When she posts, she does not shoot this way, right shoulder. She does not turn. So if let's say she's right hand post up, right hand post up, right side of the basket, she's not going to turn and shoot right shoulder. She's going to turn and shoot left shoulder so she can get to her left leg, kind of like that Dirk shot, left leg, right leg pull up. So whenever she fades, she's going left shoulder so she can get to left leg, right foot pickup, right shoulder shot. So if you know that coming in, where should you be at least shading Rickea Jackson, right? That's the scout. I truly don't think WNBA team scouting. I'm supposed to be talking about Emma Mieseman on the New York Liberty, and we're here talking about scouting. I'll be real. I might have to change this title, guys. I don't think WNBA teams are scouting. They might be scouting, but they're not scouting like that. They ain't scouting like that, bro. Because there's certain things as someone who plays, as someone who's played, and someone again who just scouts to the minute level, bro. There are certain things that happen in a game where it's just like, there's no way that just happened. I can tell you did not scout that because there's no way that just happened. Like this was you saw this coming from yesterday, bro. Like you saw this coming from their last game. There's no way you weren't prepared for that. There's no way you weren't prepared for that. I know for a fact that you were watching Love Island instead of watching a WNBA game if you weren't prepared for that. I saw that coming 2 miles away. And I'm a fan. And I'm a fan. No, listen, Derek Hamby, I think she's a great rebound. I think Derek Hamby is low key what Angel Reese should be like striving to be. I kind of put them in the same category. I think Angel Reese has a little bit more facilitating skill, but A lot of people are saying, "Oh, can Angel Reese be this type of player? Can she be that type of player?" What about Derek Hamby? High motor, rebounds well, can get a couple of buckets. What's wrong with that? Plus, if on top of that, Angel Reese can facilitate, that's not a bad thing either. Appreciate it. Respect the breakdowns. Appreciate it. I don't know what these signs are on the comments, but it's whatever. Okay, let me talk about Emma Mieseman before I get out of here. I'll probably get out of here in 50 minutes. Let me check the camera real quick. All right. Just want to just want to make sure this bit don't die on me like last time. But let me chat about Emma Mieseman on New York. All right, I'll give my final thoughts on this because I think Emma Mieseman she practiced today with the team, but I think she's going to play next game. All right. How do I feel about Emma Mieseman on New York? One, other than it being a clutch move by GMK, I don't know, bro. I don't know. Part of me, again, I don't feel like our championship was valid from last season. Excuse me. And I have a really interesting question too. Chat, if y'all want to answer this, y'all can answer this. My YC, y'all can answer this. If New York lost that game, game five in the finals last season, do y'all think Coach Sandy Brondello still has her job? Do you think she still has her job? Right? So, depending on how you answer that, either way, I'm here like, yo, a lot of people, not that I really care, but I understand where they're coming from. A lot of people see our championship as invalid, like handed to us, given to us, right? And I'm just like, all right, at this point, we can't do anything about it. But I personally don't feel like, you know what I'm saying? And it's hard, again, it's hard to, that's why I ended last season. I said, listen, I'm here for Niyara Sabli winning a championship, and that's it at this point because she actually put in the work. And I don't, everyone else, I've been saying the same thing, bro. It's been the same story with us anyway. I don't feel like the championship is valid. I'm not saying that it's our fault why that game went like that, but I do understand that, again, and I've said this before external influence, before refs not being objective when they really had no reason not to be objective, which makes so much sense as to why people thought that the W was pushing New York. Because I can see that you literally had no reason to not be objective. Why are you rigging a game and why not rigging? I shouldn't say that, but why are you being biased in a game five? It's a game five. We don't have any more games to play. What you being biased for? You know what I mean? Like, so I can understand why people thought WNBA was, and probably they were. They're pushing for New York to have a championship. Me personally, it's weak. It's weak that ring is. They say rings have different type of weights, hold certain different type, hold different weights. That ring ain't that heavy to me. You know what I'm saying? That first ring ain't that heavy to me. And low key, I hate the fact that we had the very first championship had to have that like tink on it, had to have that mark on it. You know what I mean? So in we come into next season. Most people think it's going to be, Liberty versus Lynx. Dream are playing well. That's basically it. I'm not too concerned about the Phoenix Mercury. They're playing well though. They haven't. I'm not too concerned about the Phoenix Mercury. Plus, one of those teams are going to take each other out. You feel me? So if the top teams are the top four, New York, Soda, Dream, Phoenix, two of them are going to take each other out. So we only really need to like worry about one or two good teams, like solid teams, right? So into the season, I know we're going to be up there with the Lynx and whatnot. We're going to have the OG team. Great. We have a couple of additions. We got Rebecca Gardner. We got Izzy Harrison. I want to say that was stacking the deck because with those players, we weren't sure what we were going to get out of them. Now, I want to shout out Izzy Harrison, by the way, who's been balling. But Izzy, I also need you to understand that you're low-key a cheat code off the bench. I need Izzy Harrison to understand that she is, especially with the way she's playing, she looks healthy. She's moving well. The way she like someone please tell Izzy Harrison, yo, some instill some confidence in her. I don't know if it's lacking, but yo, Izzy, you're a super sub. You're a super sub. When you come off the bench, you can easily go for a double double depending on the minutes you get. A lot of these players coming off, a lot of these 6, 7, 8 player rotations can't with Izzy Harrison. Like I feel like sometimes Izzy sells herself short. Like, yo, they can't bang with you. On top of that, you have a beautiful defensive rating. Like the bench mob we have healthy. Because I don't even know where Emma Mieseman is going to be. Are we bringing Emma Mieseman off the bench, or are we going to do that Queen's Gambit lineup where now we're putting Emma Mieseman at the 4 or 5, and then we're putting Stewie at the 3, which is what you could have done with Niara Sabli this entire season and put Niara at the 4, JJ at the 5, Stewie at the 3, like I said last season. Well, but then you'd have to bench Tosh because you're not going to bench Leo. Oh wait, that shit don't work. That shit don't work unless you're putting Leo at the 2. Either way, it's an OP lineup. So I don't know what we're doing with Emma Mieseman, right? But I was looking forward to having the OG squad back with our new additions. It doesn't really stack the deck too much because as y'all see, even though we're undefeated, look at us now and look at Minnesota. So even our new additions, they're not really turning any tide because we didn't know what type of player we were going to be getting. We brought back Maureen Johannes. We have Rebecca Gardner, Izzy Harrison, good new additions, stabilize the team. Natasha Cloud, we're going to be back in the mix, obviously, right? I wanted to see us run it back one time. I wanted to see us run it back. Can we get a valid chip? A valid chip, undisputed. No taint, no mark on it. No claims of Rig Nation. And then we signed the best overseas player in the world. Then we signed we signed the engineer and the engine of the Fenerbahce team. We signed 2019 Mystics 2019 Finals MVP. I don't know if y'all were watching WNBA during 2019 when Emma was peace in Connecticut. That 2019 team was so solid, though. We really don't talk about that team enough. That team was solid. Del Don, Emma Mieseman, Ariel Powers, Ariel Atkins. That team was so solid. Anyway, 2019 Finals MVP. The question becomes, is this cheating? Fully healthy, probably, but the fact that we aren't fully healthy, it might save us from some of the criticism. But if we were fully healthy and we signed her, like part of me is like, this is just the competitor in me. Like, it's kind of like rec shoot. It's kind of like scrims for me. Like I want to be on the team that's like the most selfless team, right? Because if you play for the team that's selfless, that has that high IQ, you're going to be on the court all night because no one cares about getting their shit off. Like they care about winning. So every person's going to defend. Every person's going to help on rotation. And when it comes to offense, you're working for the best shot, right? I love playing on the selfless IQ teams. You're going to stay on the court all night. I love playing on a team where I don't have to worry about, I got to go get my team a bucket. No, we're going to move the ball. I know we're going to look for the best option, right? Love playing on that team. So the competitor in me is like, I hate when I'm already on the selfless IQ team. And now those same players that you're playing with are like somebody leaves and then they go pick up the best player on one of the other teams running against you. And I'm like, you know what I mean? Like I hate when people do that. When it's like one player leaves and then they pick up the best player. It's like no, why are we stacking? We don't need to stack. Like go get one of the role players from the other team. We don't need to stack. I just want a player that I know is going to play hard on both sides of the floor and work for the best shot and just talk on defense. Like Don't go grab the best player because now it looks like we're trying to stack. I'm not trying to stack. You know? My light just went out. Hold up. I don't know why my I don't know why my light just went out. My bad. But yeah, I'm not trying to stack. You know what I mean? Like I want to keep the shit competitive. I want to play. Like I'm already on a good team, but I don't want to hold the other teams and pull the talent from them because then obviously we're gonna keep winning. You know what I mean? So with Emma Mieseman coming to the New York Liberty, I kind of feel like this is when your teammates like try to grab like the best player off the other team. So now you know that you're gonna win. It takes the competitive fun out of it. Yeah, it's kind of like that feeling. I just don't me personally, I just don't like when that happens. You know what I mean? I don't like when the already good team goes and grabs like obviously it's the GM's job is the front office's job to get the best players that they can for the team. No fault on them. They're doing their job. But me personally, I'm just like, yeah, I guess come on. It's like it doesn't feel fun. It doesn't feel fun when you don't take a little damage. You know what I'm saying? Winning feels better when you take a little damage. When you got a few scars to show for it. Winning kind of feels pussy when it feels easy. You know what I'm saying? It just feels like It feels like so let's say we were fully healthy. We had Stewie, JJ, Yara, Kennedy, everyone was there, and we pick up Emma Mieseman. I'd be like, oh, this is so weak. That's how I feel. And my question is, if we were fully healthy, do we still sign Emma Mieseman? Do y'all think the New York Liberty still sign Emma Mieseman if we were fully healthy? So I was just interested in watching us run it back. I really was. Signing Emma Mieseman to me is it cheating? Is it stacking the deck? Hell yeah, stacking the deck. Absolutely. Is it cheating? It's weird because I don't know. Emma Mieseman is like I haven't seen her play since 2019. I mean, she was in the W in 2022, right? With the Chicago Sky. I think the Sky was her last team. I haven't seen her play in a minute, but I do know that she's still killing shit overseas. Still killing shit for the best team. And now we just got that best player. It's damn near the same concept of getting the best player from the other teams and bringing them on your team. And she's played with some of these same stars in the W right now, so she probably knows her tendencies. Like we just picked up the best spy in the game. Is it cheating? I don't know. I don't know. But it feels weak. It feels weak. As of right now, it looks smart as hell because like we're banged up, but it feels weak. If we weren't, if we were only missing like a player or so, it already feels weak to me because like we don't need it. Like let Emma Mieseman go somewhere else. Like we're trying to run shit back. We're trying to validate a ring. You know what I'm saying? Because if we win again this season, then we'll show them, yo, last year, yeah, we deserve that too. You feel me? So now you got like two valid rings in a way. You feel me? We're trying to run shit back, yo. And now you add Emma Mieseman just so more people can call her shit weak. I already think it's weak. I already think it's weak. Why are we stacking when we don't need to stack? And that sounds like an ironic statement now because our team is lack. Our team lacking. Anyway, chat, let me read y'all and then I'm out of here, yo. I appreciate y'all checking out the stream. Um, or if y'all just having a conversation amongst yourselves. I appreciate that too. Cross ambient too. Nothing makes up for skills. You either have it or not. No, that's talent. Talent is whether you have that or not. And that's God given. Skills you can improve on. Angel is improving, but not good. I'd say that's a fair statement. Well, I wouldn't say she's not good. She's actually Angel is improving and she's impactful, but she still is still is subpar in some ways, in some aspects. I want to say the game five was clear cheating, but it was like you if it was rigged, if that was the agenda, you couldn't have made it more obvious because there was literally no reason to. Uh, Starter clearly should for liberty is the liberty to use. It's like the KD Warriors. Yeah, that's what I thought of, and I thought of like CP3 on the Aces too. That's what I was really talking. That's what I was really thinking about. Like CP3 on the Aces, KD on the Warriors is the same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing. She plays on it doesn't matter the point she gets, reason why she has. I think Stewie Loki has a bigger impact on the Liberty through her defense than her offense. Like Stewie Loki been giving us more impact on the defensive end of the court than offense. With her weak ass layup package. Out here missing point blank layups and shit. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna do it. My phone camera probably dead off, brother. I enjoy this live stream. We haven't done this in a minute, but I'm glad everyone's up. We at 1 a.m. Like I said, it's Friday. You ain't got nothing. You ain't got no job. You ain't got nothing to do. I appreciate y'all kicking it with me. I appreciate y'all hanging with me, chopping it up with me, talking about the game, listening to me rant. Once again, it's your boy Hendrix Hoops. If you enjoyed it, you know what to do. Subscribe if you're new. It's been your boy. Take care. Enjoy your Friday night, guys. I'm out of here. Take care. Stay safe. Be blessed. Peace.